Hey readers, we have a lot to celebrate. Today, we're going to look back at everything that we learned in our first unit. Our I Can today is going to be I can self-assess. Okay? What assess means is that you're kind of scoring yourself. You're looking at yourself and what you have learned. It's not a time to say, oh, I'm doing everything perfect or I have an A. Just to say that doesn't mean anything. To show that you can do it is what's really important. And it's super important to be honest with yourself. If there's something that you're not really good at yet, then you need to be honest. This isn't a graded assignment. This is just a reflection where you're looking back at what you've learned and it's helping you create goals for yourself together or for your future reading. Okay, so you really want to be aware of what it is that you are certain you know and things that you need to work on. Pause the video here for a minute and please go over what a great reading experience looks like. All right, now I want you to pause the video again and I want you to talk as a whole group of how to choose a book that's just right for you. Pause. All right, now as a whole group, talk about the strategies you can use when you come to a word that you don't know. Pause. All right, one last question. What do you do when you're reading and you become confused and all of a sudden the movie's not running through your mind? Right, you go back and reread. The most important thing when you're reading is you should be having a movie run through your mind. If you don't have a movie running through your mind, you need to go back and check and make sure that the books are just right for you and that you are understanding it. So today, you might remember long time ago, you had these rubrics. They should be in your reading folder. Go ahead and pull them out. Now I know some of you, I know Aria and Rylan and Cameron may not have been here for all of it. Who else? We had some other people move back in, Kemper and Olivia, okay? So I want you just to kind of go through and self-assess yourself anyway. Okay, so this is how we self-assess. We look at the first one, and it says, I can create individual goals and work towards achieving them. Remember way back when we talked about how many pages we could read per minute? Okay, if you're really good at doing that, you're going to write yes, and you would put today's date there. Okay? If you're just okay with it, not super confident on it, then you put a check mark here and you put today's date. And again, it's okay if you don't have yes and that you're here because you're being honest. Okay? If it's something that you just don't understand and you're not getting it, you put a check mark here with today's date. I'm going to pause and let you do that right now. Okay, so everyone should have a check mark in one of these boxes. Let's go to our next one. I can choose just right books. If you know all the steps on how to choose a just right book, give yourself a check mark here with today's date. If you're pretty good at it, give yourself a check mark here with today's date. If you have no idea how to choose a book that's just right, check it here with today's date. Be honest. Pause. All right, now we're on to the next one. I can see the story in my mind as I'm reading. Okay, if you're really good at picturing what you're reading, you're going to check yes with today's date. If you're good at it most of the time, but not all the time, yes, or check here with today's date. If you don't know how to do that, check here with today's date. Pause. All right, so you should have these 3 sections filled in so far. Time to go to the next section. I can clear up confusion by stopping, rereading, and thinking. If you're good at that, if you're good at flagging yourself like, hey, I'm not understanding, I have to go back and reread, check here with today's date. You're just okay at it, check here with today's date. If you don't understand that or you find yourself not doing that, check here with today's date. All right, the next one is I can take the time to solve unknown words. Okay, if you use the strategies that I gave you on that sheet, yes. Most of the time if you use the strategies, mark here. Not yet, mark here. Pause. All right. I have a positive, hardworking attitude towards reading. So that means when we're in Reader's Workshop, if myself or another teacher or Mrs. Ba isn't constantly saying, hey, you need to get back to work, you need to get in your seat, you need to be reading, if we don't have to do that and you're always on task, then you're probably a yes. If sometimes you need some reminders, you're probably a starting to. And if you're distracted a lot or have to be redirected a lot, it's probably a not yet. Okay? Pause here. All right, if you flip your paper over on the back, okay? This one is, I can talk with a reading partner about my reading. Yes, you did a good job at that. Started to, you might have struggled a little bit. Not yet, you didn't do so hot on that. Okay? Pause. Next, I can retell sections of text while pulling important information from the story, okay? Were you really good at retelling? You only retold the important parts, not too much, not too little? Yes. If you're still working on that, you're going to check here for starting to. Not yet. You're not sure about that. Pause here. Okay, and then the last one. I can listen to others with an open mind, okay? How did you do on our listening section? If you did a really nice job, check yes. If you're starting to get better at that, yes, or check here with the date. And if you need to work on that, check here with the date. Again, I hope that you're being really honest, okay? This is not a graded assignment where you're going to get an A, B, C, D, or E. This is a self-reflection or a self-assessment where it's helping you to become a better reader, okay? So you should have this completely filled in by now. Today, when you're reading, your teacher or Mrs. Bott are going to come around and you're going to go back over this sheet. They're going to look at what you marked on your sheet. You're going to have a conversation with them. You're going to say, well, I marked yes here because, okay, I can choose just right books. I'm starting to get the hang of that. I still need to work on. And then you're going to tell them. You're going to go through each section. This is going to take a long time. This isn't going to be a 2-day lesson. This is going to be for today and tomorrow. Tomorrow you'll add a little more to the bottom of your sheet. But you're going to need to keep this with you, okay? Once they have talked to you, after tomorrow, if you get this all done and they have the conversation with you, then this may go home. But not until an adult has the conversation with you, okay? And then this is something that you can hang on your refrigerator at home and tell your family. These are the things I have learned. These are the things I need to work on. And these are the things that I still need to learn. Okay? So that's what you can be working on at home when you're doing your reading. So today, you're just reading, okay? And when an adult comes around to confer with you, this is what you're going to pull out and talk about. Okay? Pause here to do your non-negotiables. All right, readers, I'm very proud of you. We've come a long way. Hopefully you'll have some good conversations with your adult. Have a great day.